Well, good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Conchetta Callahan.
I'm Walt Gray. We're getting you ready for whatever this heat wave might be bringing us.
Yeah, we're bringing you team coverage. Monica Coleman is monitoring planned outages already underway this morning. But first, meteorologist Rob Carlmark is giving us a closer look at those temperatures today. Rob, it's been at least a good 15 years since we've seen something like this.
This is going to be one of the all-time heat waves. And folks, we're only in day 3 of this. We've already had 2 days, triple digits or hotter going back to Sunday. Now, if we fill this entire grid out, which, by the way, I think that we will, going into next week, that's going to be a brand new record, 12 days in a row of triple-digit heat. Now, we've had a couple heat waves so far this year, 3 days of triple-digit heat in a row. Folks, this is 12 in a row. It's not only how hot we get, but how long, and it's going to last for a very long time. Potentially historic heat wave, which we're currently in the middle of. Now, with that said, those are the daytime highs. We all understand, okay, between 3 and say 7, 8 p.m., I'm going to lay low, take it easy, avoid all the heat, and then I'm fine. The problem is the warm overnights as well. And that's truly when a lot of issues pop up because things break during the middle of the heat. And then if you don't have AC overnight, it might be 65, 75 outdoors, but the retention of the heat within your home, apartment, or rental, it's going to just linger and to be stagnant. And that's usually when people have a lot of health issues, is not during necessarily the heat of the day, which does happen, by the way, quite often, but also in the middle of the night if your AC is not adequate or just not working. Okay, with that said, the morning lows, we've already hit those. We're starting to warm up in the mid and upper 70s because these stronger northwest winds have already kicked in. In addition to the heat, we really have to pay attention to the fire risk as well. I know we can only handle probably one thing at a time, but this is the day where truly 2 unique and very serious weather stories are happening at the same time. So heat, yes, we all understand that. But in addition to that, all locations below 1,000 feet right now until Wednesday evening have an additional risk, which is for grass fires, because we have a red flag warning because of these very dry, gusty winds out of the north. We're going to hit 90 degrees definitely before noon today. In fact, it might even happen before 10 o'clock in the morning. So that gives you just a few hours early in the morning after sunrise to get things done where you really don't have to think about the weather too much. Then all of a sudden 10 o'clock happens. Now we're in the 90s, triple digits by about noon, and we just keep on going, folks. We easily could break daily record highs today, and then we're going to keep on going. In fact, it could be even hotter later on this week. So highs today between 107 and 110. Again, widespread, everyone's going to be well above 100 degrees. Now, for the foothill locations specific for you, 98 in Placerville sure seems a whole lot better than 109 in Sacramento, but specifically for the lower foothills, these numbers, relatively speaking, are very hot for you. AC should be required, and also you are also quite often at a higher risk because of the warmer overnight temperatures. Some of you will be waking up in the 80s in the coming days. So, folks, it's very serious. We've already been through a couple days of triple-digit heat, but today we take it to a brand new level, and these numbers are going to be very similar all the way through the weekend. Now back to you.
All right, Rob, thank you. So this increased fire danger also means public safety power shutoffs.
PG&E says they began turning off power this morning in a number of counties in Northern California. ABC 10's Monica Coleman is live in studio with more on this impact to customers.
This power shutoff will impact about 12,000 customers, which is way lower than over 300,000 people impacted by power shutoffs in 2020. By cutting power to certain areas, PG&E hopes to avoid a wildfire. Here is a look at the outage map. A bulk of potential power shutoffs are in Shasta and Tehama counties, but parts of Yolo, Solano, Butte, Colusa, Lake, Napa, and Sonoma counties could have impacts as well. During the power shutoff, there will be 6 community resource centers in some of the impacted counties. These are places people can go to get their phone charged, get some AC, get water, ice, or even just get away from the heat. The outages began this morning at 2 a.m. and PG&E says will go into the early hours of the morning. We asked them directly, when will power be restored?
The restoration of power depends on a couple different things. As soon as the weather clears, PG&E crews are out there in force, assessing our equipment, making sure there's no hazards in our line, making sure our equipment is in working order. Once we conduct those patrols, we make repairs if necessary, and we start re-energizing customers.
PG&E did give customers a 48-hour notice that the power would be cut off on Sunday. While some areas could have power turned off due to the PSPS, there could also be separate heat-related outages as well. For more information and resources, head on over to abc10.com.
All right, Monica, thank you for all of that. Hope everybody stays cool. In the meantime, first responders expect to have their hands full this week with people calling in with heat-related illnesses.
There's heat exhaustion and heat stroke. And heat exhaustion is when you feel tired, maybe a headache, lightheaded, and you're profusely sweating, your skin's starting to turn a little bit red, if you will, and then you progress into heat stroke. And it's just like having a stroke.
Signs can also include confusion or you stop sweating. That's when you need to call for help. If you're headed to the river to cool off, Sacramento City Council member Eric Guetta says take precautions.
We've already seen a number of drownings on the American River and the Sacramento River. Those waters may look calm, but underneath there's a current. And so we want to encourage people to take precaution, use life jackets, get a loaner one, but most importantly, also keep an eye on your kids to make sure that they don't fall into the river without any supervision.
First responders with Sacramento Fire plan to keep up with the influx of calls this week by upping their staffing.
If you need to escape today's heat for whatever reason, several cooling centers are also open. Take a look. The city of Elk Grove opened the Wackford Community Complex. It's located on Bruceville Road. They plan to stay open all week from noon to 8, and even more cooling centers are also open across Sacramento County. They're located at the North A Emergency Shelter, the Outreach and Engagement Center, and the Sam and Bonnie Pinnell Center. Sacramento RT is offering free rides if you show them a flyer for the cooling centers. Remember, you can stay informed on this heat wave by downloading the ABC 10 app. There you can always find our hourly and 7-day forecast. It is free to use and to download.